guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. We got the finals going on right now, the Bugatti 110 finals, obviously for that Bugatti prize car. I've been unlucky in my Bugatti prize cars. Out of the recent ones, I've won like none of them. The Devo and the LVN, I've missed out on all of them. So I'm gonna keep my butt clenched to see if we even get this or not. I mean, it's a new bracket, I'm in tier 1, yes, but also this bracket is also not even 20% full. It's 96 out of 500, so I'm not gonna count my chickens too early. But anyway, we are talking about this because I want to review the pack that you need to open in order to get your cars to qualify for this pack for the final. Now, I know it's a little bit late that I'm recording this, but of course, you know, it's not just about the final. You know, it's down to maybe you are just a newer player that want to build up your garage, and I say this with every what can you get from that pack video. But you know, how useful is this pack in a general sense, right? If you just wanted to build your garage, will it bring any value to the table? Well, I think I go into live content. It should be in here somewhere. I don't even know where the Tri-Series, I think the specials maybe? No specials are just the sales. Well, somewhere in here, there you go, Tri-Series Titanium. So, Tri-Series Titanium, not this one. This one, as well as the Platinum, is it worth opening? Is it not worth opening? Well, we're gonna find out. I opened 2 of these off camera. No, I opened 1 on camera and 1 off camera. Pulled nothing from that. But anyway, as always, let's get into it. So, we're gonna start off with a quick, you know, just to get straight to the point. What's the best hand for the final? I think it's going to be this. It's the Tenali plugin. If you have that, you're basically sorted. You know, 4-wheel drive, standard tires, great for the wet stuff, and also it has that European Grand Tour tag, so great for the wet track sets, essentially for the final. You got the Alfa Stelvio, which is really good for that one track set with Ocean Beach Slalom. Aside from that, you can also put it in the wet track sets, because sometimes you get 2 wet track sets. You get the Pagani Huayra Tricolor and the Pagani Huayra Roads to BC. Those are your 2 best legends that you can use. Now, these are like the winning cars. This is called the Equalizer, because I have a feeling that everybody and their mom will probably own a Prototipo at this point. It's just one of those ultra rares where like it's just genuinely Blossom choice. It's just so good. It brings you so much value. It beats epics, and that's exactly what this serves. So I feel like some newer players think that they might own the Prototipo, and they're just like, wow, I'm like 1/5 of the way to the prize card. That's not really the thing. It's more of an equalizer kind of thing. Everyone's gonna own the Prototipo at this point. That's just gonna draw. You're just gonna draw. Basically, if you don't own the Prototipo, you're basically not gonna get the prize card. So that's one that you definitely need. And then it really just comes down, the finals really just comes down to what you can add on top of the Prototipo. Can you add the Tenale or the Stelvio, the Tricolor, the BC, etc., etc.? I own the Tricolor, I own the Turbo. I do not have these other 2 cars, however, so I had to find some replacements. So my hand is like, you know, it's these 3 cars. My replacements, I mean, the next best thing to the Alfa Tenale, unfortunately for me, is the Alfa 164 Proteo, and the next best thing for the just Amalfi Coast stuff, I'm using the Alfa TZ3. So that's this 5 is my hand. That's not the best option though. Move these 2 away again. Let's bring it up, and there you go. But anyway, that's the best hand for the final. Let's talk about the pack in a general sense. So, as always, and with every single episode of What Can You Get From That Pack, I feel like my naming for tiers get a bit more positive every single time. We've got highly versatile, requires some criteria, has little moments, just trying to be nice about things here, and requires a special tag challenge. Obviously, you know, if you guys know me, I would like to just outright bash a car and call it hot garbage. But some people kind of get mad at that, so I'm just like, sure. I mean, I understand why some people get mad, because, you know, the way that the game is evolving is that they're trying to get every single car to be useful. It's just really down to how many times a year are you going to be using a car. Sometimes you might only use it once a year, maybe once every 5 years. A great example was 2020. I pulled the Lamborghini Reventon, and until today I've not used it. But maybe one day that Reventon will have its use. But now, 4 years since pulling the car, it's been completely useless to me. But anyway, let's get into it. A Barv 695 Biposto R. I'm gonna say it has little moments. It had a lot of moments when it first came out, but the problem is the Abarth 500 R3 is just better in every way, and I'm gonna put that in versatile. Highly versatile. I mean, if you want to just talk about the off-road hierarchy right now, just boom right in there. Fiat Abarth Prototipo. I might be changing some things, you know, as we get throughout the list. I think those are all the off-roaders. Okay, so I'm gonna bump it up. So you move up to require some criteria. You move up up to versatile. Reason for that being, this is rear-wheel drive, this is front-wheel drive. So there are situations where you'll be using them in different scenarios, and they'll be the best car in different scenarios. Now, moving on is the Alpha, and as always, guys, you know, with every episode in this series, this is subjective, and this is my personal opinion. But then again, I can say that I've owned almost every single car here from the previous update. If we're talking more about the newer European Grand Tour cars, I don't really have a lot of experience with them. But with the older Amalfi Coast cars, I got every single Ultra here fully upgraded already. We've got the Alpha. This one's next. Okay, 99 handling. You know, you think it's going to be great and all, but at most, it has little moments. I don't use it that much. It's just that there are so many front-wheel drive Ultra now that are capable of, you know, very, very high handling. We're talking 97 plus. And although 99 is really impressive, it just doesn't have the 0 to 60 or the weight or anything of that stature, because things like the Maxi Turbo, for example, are just way better. Even though they handle less than the Alpha, it doesn't really matter. It's 97 to 99. And the Maxi has a way lower 0 to 60, like 3-second difference or something like that. Or at least 2.5-second difference. Alpha 155 GT Stradale, I'm going to say it has little moments as well. 4-wheel drive handles well, it's a saloon, and it's not slick tires, so you can use it in the wet. I think that, again, because it's a lower end Ultra Rare, it doesn't get that much use. But the fact that it's a saloon, the fact that you can utilize it in the wet is useful, because there are not a lot of standard tire Italian cars out there. But then again, there are better options compared to the 155, like the Nivola, and the Nivola is going to go up to require some criteria just because it's slightly better. But then again, there are a lot of these 4-wheel drive Italian cars now, actually, and they're all fitting within the same tag. You got the Visconti. The Visconti, again, has its moments, and then you've got the Hyena, and the Hyena in this is versatile. The Hyena is better. It is a Lancia Delta killer in some cases. Sometimes you can't really say I can compare them because the Hyena is low, Delta's a medium, but then again, they're still going to cross paths a lot. Moving on is the Alpha 159. Again, handles well, 4-wheel drive, medium ground clearance. But for me to put these two cars, it has little moments, still is a little bit generous. I'm going to move both of them down to requires a special tag challenge. Now, next up is the 164 Proteo. I don't really know where to judge this, so let me just show you this one right here. I mean, it's better than the Panamericana, which is great. It drains a little bit of blows with the Ford RS200. You bring in the 62 Subaru, and, you know, it still remains the best for medium and hairpin and karting and twisty, which is, you know, it's impressive. But then you bring in another Italian car, which is only 1 RQ higher than the Lancia Delta S4 Stradale, and that's also all medium. These are all medium ground clearance cars that I'm comparing them against, and as you can see, it's a little bit different. It only has the hairpin and twisty circuit. Obviously, if you bring in something dominant like the Mitsubishi Lancer, then, you know, it doesn't win anything anymore. I think that the Alpha Proteo is very of its RQ. It might require some criteria. I think it's just very average. 4C Spider is versatile, but the 8C Spider concept has little moments. The issue is these two cars are almost exactly the same. They're both convertible, they're both Italian, they're both Alphas. And they're both RQ64, but the 4C Spider is better. I know that the 8C is the dragster brother. It has like 83 MRI, which is nice and all, but, you know, if you're talking about a general or grand scheme of things when it comes to Italian Ultra Rares, you're not going to be using an 8C Spider for the drag. You're going to be using a Miura or even a Countach, not an 8C Spider. Moving on is the Alpha. Oh, okay, but the only thing that you can give this car credit for is if it's Italian European Grand Tour. Italian European Grand Tour, and you can only use Ultra Rares because obviously this final you have to use 2 Italian European Grand Tour cars, but this car doesn't even come close to being one of the best options, so it needs to be restricted to Ultra Rare. It needs to be restricted. Yeah, of course, it has little moments. It needs a lot in its favor for it to be useful. Alpha Giulia, I'm gonna put this in requires some criteria. Again, we talk about this is the wrong one. We see the Giulia back, and you can see that it's pretty good. I'm basically comparing this against the Alpha Kamal. There are not a lot of standard tire Italian Ultra Rares and Super Rares. As you can see, this is it. The Kamal, although it's 4-wheel drive, can't really hit that high. The Giulia, better option compared to the Quattroporte, as you can see, and it's just a better option. So because of that, I'm going to put it in requires some criteria, as long as it's Italian wet. Honestly, maybe even versatile, because if it's Italian 5 times in clubs, RQ is pretty low. Can't use your 4-wheel drive Lamborghinis. That might be a pretty useful car, honestly. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in versatile. Might be a bit of a moneymaker in clubs. If it's a Storm Chaser Italian ×5, a pretty low RQ. Not even Storm Chaser, Rising Storm, or anything like that. That might work out. Alpha Juliet TZ2. I'm gonna say it has little moments. Juliet at TCR. Some people might hate me for it, but again, it just has little moments. It's not that great. Just maxi superiority. Alpha GTV Cup has its moments. I might move the Juliet and TCR to require some criteria, maybe, just because if we're just gonna limit it to Italian events, but then again, I'd still rather use the 4C Spider. But then again, moving it up one makes a bit sense. It's still underneath the 4Z Spider, but at least it's a tier above the GTA Cup and the GTV. The Kamal, I don't know where to put it because it's four-wheel drive, it's standard, and you think, it'd be good because there are not a lot of standard. It's like the only ultra-rare four-wheel drive standard Italian car. But the issue is it just can't beat the Giulia. That's the fact of the matter, right? And yeah, it's a tough one to gauge by. I mean, what if we got rid of? Okay, how well would it go against the super rares? Very well. I mean, as it should. Super killer. A lot more expensive to upgrade. What do you guys think? I'm gonna put it in has little moments. Stelvio 2.2. I'm gonna put that in requires some criteria. It's like the RQ64 all surface tire car now, alongside that Audi. I think it's A7. I think it is. I do think the A7 has a bit of an edge because we already covered both these cars in overrated or overpowered. But I'm gonna put that in requires some criteria. Now moving on to the epics, the Alpha 156 GTA 2000. Requires some criteria at most, and I'm being generous. I have a bunch of front-wheel drive epics fully upgraded, and this is like C team at best. Requires some, honestly, nah, I gotta be real with you, man. I got this car fully upgraded, and it's C team. It's literally C team. Has little moments. The Alpha 1750. Little moments, as long as you get that 1970 range, might be useful. If not, that's about it. 4C concept requires a special tag challenge. I would say has little moments again for the 75. I just don't get a lot of use out of it. That's the thing about this pack, right? There's a lot of low RQ epics that might be wasting your time. Stelvio has little moments, and one of those little moments might be this final, and all the other little moments that come might be just an Amalfi, not Amalfi Coast, but a European Grand Tour Italian event where you need to use an all-surface tire car, which is going to be very rare. Has little moments. 8C, this, seriously, I'm going to put it in requires a special tag challenge. I don't think anyone's ever going to use that. Same thing with the Bat. Same thing with the Brera concept. Same thing with the Disco Volante. Just a lot of low RQ epics, right? It ain't great. Tonali plugin, yeah, I'll bump it up one. I'll put it in requires some criteria. It's very useful for this final. It's a great Italian wet car as well. But it's still behind that Di Tommaso, isn't it? I do believe it's still behind that Di Tommaso. I mean, I can give it a double check. Might as well, since we're already here. We got these are the only two that's left. So boom, boom. Ooh, yep, there you go. It's still behind the Di Tommaso besides City Street Small. So the most I can do is put it and require some criteria. We got the Giulia GTA. I'm gonna say that's versatile. It's really good. TZ Street Stradale. I'm gonna put that in versatile as well. Both of these cars, maybe even highly versatile. I use my TZ3 a lot. I really do. In terms of like epics I have fully upgraded that I needed to fully upgrade for a tri-series, this TZ3 comes back a lot for me. More than the Giulia GTM, both cars of which I needed to fully upgrade for a tri-series purpose. Yeah, TZ3, I'm going to put in highly versatile, just slightly better, even though that these two cars trade blows. And then we've got the Alpha Pandion. It has little moments, man. I fully upgraded that for a final as well, for Amalfi Coast Alpha, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what the prize car was anymore, but never use it. This Fiat requires special tag challenge. This Alpha 155 GTA special tag challenge. The 33 Stradale, I'm going to say is, I want to say highly, if not versatile. We'll put it in highly versatile for now, just because, it's one of the better EGT legends. It is the best EGT packable Italian legend as well. It will be beating all of those Audis, if there was ever an EGT legend event, but it'll be losing to the McLarens, right? But then again, it's very of its RQ, AC7, so I can't really judge it by it too much. TZ3 Corsa is great. And then we're moving on to the Paganis. The Paganis are fantastic. I mean, we'll put both of them in highly versatile. But some of these lower end ones, I mean, I'm inclined to put them just one rank lower. And the main reason is because all these Paganis came in the same update, right? They all came in the same update. And the reality is, you know, if you want to use a Pagani from Amalfi Coast, then use the best. If not, then, you know, these cars are better. You know, I'll move the 88 up, you know, but that's just my opinion. You know, if you had to use a Pagani, you should use the best of the best. Great example, I mean, this final, you know? Like, if you have a better Pagani, you will use the better Pagani. So, these Paganis are good, but they're just some that are better. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. Was the pack worth it? Oh, that's the question. Was the pack worth it? No, I'm not going to open it. I mean, this is a 40% chance of an epic or legendary card, sure. But at the end of the day, it's not really one which I will endorse if you are a newer player, even if you wanted to collect Italian cars. Okay, I think that's the only thing. If you are a newer player and Italian cars is your speciality, that's what you want to go in and collect, then I feel like this pack is kind of decent. You pull a good little Pagani out of it, and it's a great way to, you know, escape all that four-wheel drive Lamborghini bullshit as well. But aside from that, if you're not really into Italian cars, it's not really worth it. But anyway, we're going to end up with a carbon fiber because this is just heavily discounted. 1,000 gold for a carbon. Sign me up. Let's go. Lamborghini is Lero, Volkswagen Golf. Ford Ranchero, we've got a Volkswagen Cygnus Grand Sport, final card of the carbon fiber. Let's go, 3, 2, 1. Okay, well anyway, guys, hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my